caviar lentils. They look like little black BBs. They looked good in the bulk foods part of my supermarket, so I bought them. We'll get those going. On standby as those sausages start to bubble. I'll tell you a few things about meal planning that I always try to keep in mind is I always want to keep the healthy choice the easy choice. And that means spending time preparing, right? If you've got, like this is a great example. If you have this whole pineapple sitting on your counter that looks all daunting and weird and cumbersome, and you've also got this half-eaten bag of tortilla chips, and you're starving, like what are you going to choose? The easy thing, right? If you cut up this pineapple, and I'm not saying eat pineapple, not tortilla chips, whatever. If you cut up this pineapple ahead of time when you're hungry, you'll be more likely to grab something healthy. Does that make sense? Cool. So in that regard, here's a good example. I've got this bunch of kale that I got at the grocery store last week, and I didn't eat it because I didn't cut it up. So it was like I'd be making dinner, and I'm like, I should throw some kale in there, but I can't be bothered. So it still looks nice. So I'm going to get this ready while the sausages brown up. Alright, easy peasy, a whole bunch of kale, some of which I dropped on the floor. And the sausages sound good. You guys can't see my food. I'll try and turn my camera later to give a chance. So I've got these sausages just browned on one side. I'm going to add about a half a cup of lentils. You can add a few crushed garlic cloves to this as well, which is really nice. I'm not going to bother today. And then I'm just going to cover these lentils with water by about an inch. You can also use veggie stock or chicken stock in here. That's all the way on the other side of the kitchen, so we're not doing that. Sorry, it's really loud. I've got a little chunk of onion that I'm just going to nestle in there. That pan is full. And then I have this huge pile of kale. I'm just going to dash right on top. Can you guys see this? It's my little pan, so I'm just going to mush this kale up, right? This is going to cook down really fast. And now that water's come up to a bubble, I'm going to cut the heat to low. I'm going to try to mash a lid down on top of this. I'm just going to let that go for about 25 minutes, right, while those, okay, you can see my belly, that's nice. You can just let those lentils cook and the sausages will cook through. And that's another meal going. So, how's this going? Thumbs up? Are you guys enjoying this? Yeah, okay, good, okay. I like a little feedback. It's kind of strange just talking to a couple different cameras in my kitchen while my husband's sleeping. So our eggs are almost up to a boil. What else are we going to do? So I'm going to do some lamb curry really fast. This is another simple dish, and I apologize if you are from India or know someone who is or know something about Indian food. This might be somewhat offensive for me to refer to this as a curry, like trying to pretend like it's somewhat legitimate Indian food. Not my intention. So I've just got another skillet here that I'm heating up a little bit more coconut oil because it's out. And I've got some ground lean lamb that I picked up at the butcher yesterday. I enjoy lamb. I like to kind of mix up my proteins a little bit, so I'm not always eating the same thing. I'm just gonna put that in there and get it going. My meal prep is usually beef, pork, and chicken, to be honest. I love seafood, and I'm fortunate I live in Seattle, so we have access to great fresh seafood. But I do not like reheating seafood, and I'm a little bit picky. I like to cook it the day I buy it. So Sunday when I'm on my way home from church and I buy all my food, I will typically buy myself a really nice piece of halibut or salmon, and I'll cook it that night because I just like it the first night. And then maybe one night through the week, a couple nights, I'll stop on my way home and grab a piece of fish. But as much as I love fish, you won't see me cooking it because I haven't figured out how to make fish taste awesome after 2 or 3 days in the refrigerator. So if it works for you, you should totally keep doing that. So our eggs have come up to a full rolling boil. I'm going to cut that heat, and I just cut the heat on the wrong burner. I'm going to set my microwave timer for 12 minutes. And those eggs are almost done. Okay, so where was I? Working on this lamb. So this is going to start browning up. I'm just going to break it up a little bit, put some salt on it. So when I was a kid, I'm going to tell you guys the story because you're all muted so you can listen to whatever I want to talk about. When I was a young girl, my mom was a chef, and we always cooked together as a family. It was a really big part of growing up. Just all 4 of us, my dad, my brother, and I would all be in the kitchen getting dinner ready. We were blessed with a large kitchen. So, and at the time there really wasn't any food TV available, right? We had this show, I think it was called Great Chefs. It was a PBS show, and it would be like these guys that only spoke French that would be in these professional kitchens cooking food. But I was so impressed with it. I always wanted to have a cooking show when I was a kid, and I used to get everything ready in these little dishes, you know, like cooking shows, and I've done that today. So thanks, you guys are kind of making my childhood little dreams come true with a cooking show of my own. Sort of a weird story to share with you guys. So let's talk about veggies. As we've got a bunch of protein going, it might be a good time. This falls in line with the healthy choice being the easy choice thing as well. So I did this earlier, so you don't have to watch me chop carrots. But when I get my protein sources going like this on the stove, I'll usually turn to do some veggie prep. I have this Tupperware container, and I like to fill it up every week with cut up veggies. So I've got just some carrots or celery sticks and carrot sticks. I've got some zucchini cut up and a little bit of red pepper. And this is just a great base to have so that if I'm running out the door and I think, oh my gosh, I don't have anything for lunch, I can grab 3 hard-boiled eggs and a big handful of these veggies, and I've got a pretty basic but nutritious meal for myself. I can chop these up and throw it on a salad. Near the end of the week, when they start to look less than perfect, I can throw them into a stir fry and do a lot of stuff, but it's just a great way to have a lot of veggies ready to go and eat all the time. I do cucumbers the same way, but this week I actually found these cute Persian cucumbers at Trader Joe's. So they look kind of like a pickle. So I didn't chop them up because they're pretty easy to go already. But yeah, I recommend people have a big container or bowl of cut up veggies that are ready to go. I cut up greens the same way, like I just did with that kale. I would normally cut that up and just keep it all week. So lamb is getting going. I do buy greens every week. Right here I've got a bag of washed baby spinach. And then I also just got this plastic container. This is baby kale. These two are awesome because you can have them raw as salads. You can throw them in a protein shake, or I can saute them quickly with some garlic and olive oil for a hot veggie side. Or if I'm doing some egg scramble in the morning, it's easy, just throw in a handful of greens. I'm just into throwing a handful of greens into anything I've got. So that might be a way to take a little bit of help from the store as well. Okay, our lamb is going. This is super, super simple. I do a lot of crock pot cooking as meal prep. I'm not doing it today. That's how it worked out. This is an onion, a small onion that I chopped up. It's going into this lamb. Crock pot's awesome. I do everything in there from, like I said, chicken breasts, a whole chicken. I did short ribs last week that were phenomenal. So it's another tool in your arsenal as you think about spending more time on Sunday doing family stuff or relaxing, but still getting your meal prep going. So we're going to pretend like these onions have sweated a little bit more than they have. So I want to keep this stuff going and then have time for questions from you guys too. Okay, so we've got this going. You guys see this a little bit. Okay, so now I've got some spices. This is just turmeric and curry powder blend that I bought. It's a hot blend, so I would normally add a little bit of cayenne pepper or a fresh serrano chili to this. But I'm going to give it a whirl how it is because I love spicy food, but I blow myself out with this curry powder. So we're just going to throw that in there. And I don't even know if it's going to be enough, but we're going to taste it later and find out. And then I've got a can of diced tomatoes. You might want to use fresh tomatoes if they taste good this time of year in the part of the world you live in, or if you remember to buy them at the store, as the case might be for me, but I'm just going to use some canned tomatoes. These are nice because they're just tomatoes and salt. There's no sugar in them or anything weird. And then this is just full fat coconut milk. I'm into that. You might not be.